Good day, students. Good to see you all. Today should be, I believe, Wednesday. Before we get started with the lesson, please keep in mind tomorrow we have office hours at, looks like 12 p.m. Nope, looks like 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Okay, that'll be in the morning time. Come swing by, say hi, get some questions answered. Some of you all need to get your proficiency checks retaken. Maybe we can answer those questions as well, okay? Also, after this lesson, there is a learning activity below, just with some questions I want you to answer with what we're learning. Again, remember to please keep your comments with 2 sentences or more. I want you to start processing. I want you to think about this, right? We're not just watching a video, skipping through, and then we get it, but we're trying to take some time thinking about it, and then we're going to try to answer and reflect, okay? But let's get into the lesson. Before we do that, let's go ahead and get to this do now, okay? So last time we learned about 2 different things. We learned about side, angle, side, and then side, side, side. And remember, we learned that congruence, which means that 2 different triangles in this case, their sides are congruent or the same to each other, right? The values would be equal to each other, okay? And we know that something is proven by using side, angle, side, or side, side, side. Okay, that's for us to prove that these 2 triangles are congruent, okay? So let's look at this one. We have here triangle BUP. I'll call it triangle. Yeah, I'll call it triangle BUP. And then in the bottom, we have triangle RYP. I need to prove that these 2 things are congruent to each other. So to do that, I'm going to look at those dashes. That tells me already, we could say BP, line BP is congruent to RP. Okay, we also know that YP, let's be consistent. Let's say UP is congruent to YP. Okay, when I say I'm consistent, what I mean is I'm trying to make things in order, right? So if I'm taking out from one triangle, I have to stick with that one first and then do the second one after, okay? That's the best way to approach this. Looking at this, because I know that right over here, I'll do this in red, we have angle 1 and angle 2. Because I know they're vertical angles, right? If they're intersecting, you'll always have vertical angles. I could say that the measure angle 1 is congruent to measure angle 2. Okay? So because I have this, looks like what I have derived is a side, angle, side. So the side and the angle and side are congruent to the other side, angle, and side, okay? Therefore, I know that triangle, well, let's do some blue. Triangle BUP is congruent to triangle RYP. And that's it for my proof, okay? So today we're going to do more problems. Should be a quick lesson. Please get through this and do the learning activities afterwards, all right? Today you're going to learn still to justify and identify congruence of triangles. Let's get started. So with this one, I need to state if the 2 triangles are congruent. If they are, I need to state how I know. So let's just kind of break this down. Remember, the only 2 things we learned is side, 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 and side, angle, side, okay? So if I was to break this down, looking at what's given, let's just label them first. I have triangle SKT and INT, right? So triangle INT. So what's given? Well, line KT is congruent to NT. And other than that, I mean, I guess I can see that measure angle S is congruent to measure angle I because of those arcs, right, that I talked about. And I do know that I have this intersection here. So I guess I can say that measure angle T is congruent to measure angle T. Okay? So if I look at this, is this either side, 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 or side, angle, side? Okay, if I look at this, this really isn't connected to anything, right? I guess you can have a angle, angle, side, or side, angle, angle, but we haven't learned that yet, okay? So for now, I'm going to say that we can't necessarily prove this because not enough info, right? I need to know more about this to make that conclusion. And also I'm thinking that, yeah, I have to show the video. There's a video that says something where I'm not going to say anything yet. Okay. But again, there's not enough info for this one, so I can't make a conclusion that those two triangles that connect to each other are congruent. Okay. Let's go ahead and continue that practice. So I need to state what additional information I need in order to know that the triangles are congruent for the given reason. Okay. So looking at the first one here, I want to prove that this is a side angle side. So a side angle side, I need to have first a side, then it connects to an angle, then it connects to another side, right? So let me go ahead and label these. This is triangle, we'll call it CAB, CAB. And then this one is going to be triangle CED, SED, right? Well, what's given to me? I see that I have side AB is congruent to side ED, okay? And I know that measure angle A is congruent to measure angle D, okay? But I don't really have anything else yet, right? Because again, there's just doesn't say. I guess I can say that this angle C, is again vertical angles, but I'm trying to prove side angle side, okay? So I can derive that I need a side, which in addition to make this true, what I need is, it looks like for side angle side, I need CA to be congruent to, I'm taking CD, okay? Once CA is congruent to CD, then you'll have side angle side, okay? All right, let's look at this next one. So I need to prove again side angle side. So, I have a side and I have an angle, but what I'm missing is a side, okay? By now you should kind of see that already, but I'm going to go ahead and write what's given to me. So I'm given with those triangles, FA, FA, is congruent to, let's say AF is congruent to PL, okay? And looks like because they're right angles, measure angle F is congruent to measure angle L. Well, I can derive that it looks like I need a side. So I need side. And what I need is, I need IL, or let's go to this. I need TF to be congruent with IL. Okay. Once I have that, then I'll have side angle side, okay? So go ahead and look at these ones. Again, we're trying to prove those side angle sides, and let's just go through it together, okay? I got some other two that I want you to do on your own, but these ones, let's just keep going, okay? So let's look at this. This first one, all I have is looks like one angle that's the same. Everything else I'm not quite sure about, okay? It's not given. I'm trying to prove side angle side here, okay? So if I look at it, I know for sure. For these triangles, looks like measure angle P is the same as measure angle P, right? Because this one's going to be SPC, and this other one is going to be EPC, okay? So those are the same. And what else do you see here? If you're noticing that CP, they're both part of, CP's is part of both triangles, then you're absolutely correct with that, okay? I also know CP is congruent to CP as well, okay? Well, I do have a side and I do have an angle. Now what I need is another side. Remember, side, angle, side needs to be that combination. Okay? So I need side. What addition is, I'm going to need P, or I guess when I say derive, that derives to side, angle, side. But what I need is, I need SP to be congruent with EP. Okay, once I have that, then I do have side, angle, side, okay? Side, angle, side means that the sides, the angles, and the other side of those two triangles are congruent. Therefore, those two triangles are congruent to each other, okay? Let's try this last one and do side, side, side. So I can see I have here tar and TAF. I gotta be consistent, right? You can't say fat with this one. I know you want to. Okay, so given. Well, I'm trying to do side, 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 okay? Right now I know that FA is congruent to RA. And if you see that vertical line again, I still have that thing going on where I have AT as part of both of those triangles. So we can go ahead and say that as well, okay? This is supposed to derive side, side, side. In addition, remember side, side, side means I need three sides. Right now I have two sides. My third side should be, well, let's say TF is congruent to TR. Okay, you do that, that's it. And that will be our answer for that, okay? Again, you're just trying to prove these two triangles are congruent with side, 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 and side, angle, side, okay? We'll answer more the next day, but this should be a quick one and just kind of reviewing, refreshing on what you just learned the other day, okay? So go ahead and do this on Canvas down below. I'm going to leave these. I'm not going to show them to you, but I will grade them, okay? And again, what you learned today was using congruence of triangles and trying to prove side, 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 angle, side, okay? So don't forget to comment and do all the other stuff. And again, retakes are still good, also with my office hours tomorrow on conferences, okay? But other than that, have a great day. Good to see you all. Peace.